You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
You just gotta roll with the tides, man. Hey, Gordon, would you like some Cheeto fried corn dogs as an appetizer to that? What is that? You made that one big corn dog. What is that? It's a filet mignon. That's just a big ass fancy corn dog, brother. Yeah.
All right, everybody. That welcoming sound is the return of the Couch Brotatoes.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. I'm Alex
Morrison.
And we are hopped up on some Ghost.
Yep.
We are well rested and ready to give the middle. Well, Chris is ready to give the middle finger to his job. I am settling into my at-home positions and trying to get my time management right.
Get it right.
Hope you guys haven't been enjoying the Fistful of Quarter episodes on YouTube.
Or Mikey and Alex watch Chris play.
I have a
It's a let's play, but a watch along.
It's multiple levels because it's a play along or a walkthrough of you playing with us watching,
and
yet
dying.
the viewer yet the viewer is also doing the same thing we're doing, so it's viewerception. It's a little fucked up.
I showed a guy at work one of those videos, and he said watching y'all play was like watching you play was kind of like watching the live Twitch stream of someone playing, where everyone gets to do one button push in the comment section.
That's solid. I love that.
Yeah, because if you ever watch someone try to play Pokemon with the comment section with the button thing on, it is just like watching a schizophrenic play a game.
Yeah. And the thing is too is like if I was, not to peel the curtain back, but it's like there is a bit of just having fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not like, if I was sitting here part of a competition, I would probably be giving it a little bit more seriousness. But like, I'm just goofing off. I'm having some fun.
Oh, when we finally get everything set up and we do our live Twitch stream / FanDuel bets on fucking Mario Kart, yeah, I'm ready to put some money down on the ponies, because that'll be a fucking party right there.
Oh yeah.
But I would only want it to be 2 people at a time. Mm-hmm. Just us have a video of 2 people racing and just me in the background. I got $5. I said $5, 10-1 odds on number 2.
Yeah, I have a feeling this video game stuff's going to be pretty fun to do. And we've gotten a lot already backlogged. We're currently just posting episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working out where each week is like a different series. So like the first week was Super Mario. By the time you're hearing this, you'll already know that we're already doing Street Fighter for this week.
Double KO.
Then we're going to be flipping back to Mario. And then we've got a week of Legend of Zelda. So, depending on how much we end up getting backlogged, I may end up shifting stuff, and I might start posting videos every Monday through Friday if we get enough backlogged. Yeah. I just didn't want to put too much out there too early on, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, oh no, we're out of content. But it seems like we're stacking this content pretty fast and hard and heavy. Yeah. So who knows? We might actually, by the time, I'll give it a few more weeks, see what views are looking like, see what, the workload is looking like. Because as I was showing and explaining to Chris earlier, I was staying up till like 2 a.m. last night, making these edits, trying to get them uploaded to YouTube, really try to get ahead of the ball. That way, this is just something that's completely just rocking out by itself on its own. All I gotta do is post a couple links every so often. Yeah, I've come to find out 3 to 4 of the videos that took me like 3 hours of rendering time wound up being corrupted. So that
sucks.
That was a fun little thing to realize in the middle of the night. But that's also why I like to try to get ahead on things. Yeah, so we are definitely going to be trying to do a little bit more here. I know next week Phantom Menace is going to be back in theaters. So I'd like to get like you and Mikey
Yeah.
See if we could get like all three of us out to the theater, watch that, and
It'd
then
probably
maybe
have to
do
be
an episode.
Something like what we're doing right now, just record during the day kind of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be the best time.
We'll figure it out, but we'll try to keep fingers crossed on that one. Be fucking kids. An ongoing joke I've had lately. What is it with kids and crossing fingers?
I don't know.
But every fucking kid is like this. Like,
no cap. It's pretty bussin'.
It is pretty bussin'. And also, quick shout out to Chris. Thank you for the Jar Jar Binks Star Wars Episode 1 action figure.
He's an allegory for racism.
Yeah, ever since we've been getting back into doing Fistful of Quarters stuff, my nerdisms have been creeping back out. So seeing now that I have 2 of the Episode 1 figures on the wall, I'm like, he's reignited an itch. I
got a pretty good deal, man. I got that one and the 2 Darth Mauls, the 2 different variant Darth Mauls for like $30 at a little mom and pop shop comic place down in my town.
And that's what makes it fun. Before we fully get into our news segment, one of the things I've been really enjoying doing is while videos are rendering, for us or the different clients I've been working with, I'll just put a YouTube video up on my phone and watch that while I'm waiting for my computer to do. And there's this guy I've been watching called Chase the Right Price. And he's kind of fallen off just looking for deals, and he's more or less
I'll suck your dick for a Gameboy Silver.
He's like making multi-$1,000 deals, and like, it's like
a lot of ramped up stuff. Yeah,
5-figure deals type shit.
Yeah.
So it's no longer just about good price, but that is one of the things that I have always enjoyed about the collector thing, and why I kind of did fall out of it for a while is, like, take the Misfits for example. We've mentioned so many times that I am really the only person or anyone even around town that even genuinely gives a fuck about the Misfits, especially all eras.
The only other person I know is the person that does my tattoos.
Exactly.
And they are ate the fuck up with that shit.
So if you were just looking within your own bubble, you would actually kind of go, Misfits probably aren't that popular, and you could probably find a bunch of their stuff like, roundabouts, pretty fucking cheap. Dude, Misfits records consistently go for 3 to 4 times the price Ramones records do online.
I agree with it, bro. It's something I saw a lot of as a younger man, because there were a lot of Misfits fans when I was younger. But my generation grew up, so like you're not going to see a lot of those people anymore. But
yeah.
So I could kind of understand why those would have a higher niche, because there's like music people who collect music stuff are the most like gatekeeping people when it comes to fandoms. They're almost as bad as Star Wars fans. But
yes.
Yeah. But when it comes to like music and stuff, it's just like, oh, you're not a fan. It's like, hold on for a goddamn minute. It's like, it's okay if you've only heard one of their albums and you enjoyed it enough to buy a fucking shirt. But like, don't go after the motherfucker. But when it comes to like their stuff, like their actual like product, I could see why it'd be very high.
And that's what winds up kind of boxing me out of, even when because I love collecting old video game stuff and old comic book stuff, but like every time I would want to like start building up that collection, it would get super big in pop culture and price me out. So for instance,
the yuppies got into it, yeah.
So just for the hell of it, I've been I know I've picked up tiny things here and there that have wound up retaining value, and I didn't know it at the time when I grabbed it. So, and I have no interest in selling any of my records or stuff like that.
You just wanted to see.
What do I have? What do I have? So I was trying to figure out what certain pressings Ramones records were, because I felt like I may have had a really early pressing of a certain one. While looking that up on eBay, I just type in Ramones first press just to see just what first press records are going for. You know how eBay works. They'll also put in other keywords in the title, so related bands will sometimes pop up in the results. This is a screenshot I've got. The Ramones Too Tough to Die first pressing vinyl original near mint, $100 or best offer.
Okay.
Not unreasonable. I Want to Be Sedated 7-inch from 1988, $49.99. Baby I Love You from I think 79 or 1980, $26.99. So okay, it's like it's a little pricey for 1 or 2 songs or for a full record, but it's first press, it's history, it's punk rock.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, this little orange bastard, 7-inch called Halloween by the Misfits. Really good condition.
$300.
$2,250.
Man, they must really love Halloween.
I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah.
And that's not abnormal. That's not weird for a Misfits 7-inch. They will go anywhere from like $800 to $3,000. It is insanity.
Yeah, it's a seller's market. Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I've been kind of enjoying getting back into certain video game stuff, because the things I enjoy are still a little niche and aren't super popular.
Yeah.
What are my 2 favorite things? Game Boy Pocket and Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck about that right now. So I've actually been enjoying looking around, finding good deals on Game Boy Pocket and Nintendo 64 stuff to kind of build up that part of my collection some.
That's a good way to do it. But the problem I have with like video game collecting is what happened to the GameCube games. Is just like the destruction of the whole market is just ridiculously high for a game of like not even a player's choice kind of, but it's just like a copy of GameCube of like Mario Sunshine being like $100
regularly.
Yeah, is like, and that's the low end.
Yeah.
Me and Mikey have talked about it quite a few times about some of these video game stores. The most expensive game I've ever saw and had my fucking hands on was a Jurassic Park video game for the Xbox, and it was because it was so rare it retailed for like $300 to $400.
Yeah.
And that was at a video game store. And I had just went to Charlotte used to have a really nice little Goodwill electronics store down here called The Loft, I think.
Yep.
I used to frequent that place all the time, and they had a copy of that game, but they were selling it for $350. And I went to that video game store down the road, and I said, "Hey, they got this over there for $350, and you're selling it for $400." They're like, "Really?" And they called that place, and I guess they bought it because now they can just upsell it for the extra $50.
Yep.
But like,
it's called smart business.
And but not even that. It's just like, are you ever going to play it? See, that I can understand.
Yeah.
I have a affinity for video games, and so if I could play it, it's value. But it's just sitting there; it doesn't have value to me.
And I 100% agree with that.
Now, toys, to a point, yeah. We've had this discussion in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it out of the box and finger fuck it. I'm playing with it. I'm playing with it. But like, if I don't have nowhere to put it, like to show it off, hey, look at this cool thing I have. This is something I had when I was a kid that I lost, like I did with all my fucking toys. But now I'm an adult and I'm able to rebuy it and still appreciate it. I'll keep it in the box if I want to hang it on the wall. But that's about it.
And at first when I was reading that message in the chat, I was just like, whatever. But you know what? I fully agree with that, and it honestly depends on what it is.
Yeah.
So, for instance, video game stuff, and I'm even putting the call out for listeners. If you have old Game Boy Pocket shit, you're not going to get a shit ton of money out of me. Okay, I want this just to have it. Okay, condition really doesn't matter as long as it's even working. I'm not looking for inbox.
If you sell
shit.
it for an absorbent cost, I'm taking your dog.
Yeah. So if you're looking just to make a little bit of pocket change, and I mean $20-$30 for a Game Boy Pocket because they're going for like $40 on eBay,
a kick-ass Uber Eats kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll buy you dinner if you toss me a Game Boy Pocket type shit. Hit me up. But with that in mind, I am interested in having stuff that I can take off the shelf and fuck with.
Yeah.
I want to be able to be like, you know what? Today, I want to play my Pokemon Yellow on a yellow Game Boy Pocket.
Yeah.
Reach into my collection, grab the yellow Game Boy Pocket, and play it.
And it works.
Now, once I collect every color of that Game Boy Pocket, do I want to upgrade? Yes. If I happen to have the blue one and like the screen is really sort of fucked up and I find another one that looks really nice, I want to get that, but then I'm going to sell the blue one at a good price so someone else like me can start their collection. And then eventually when I get pristine open box versions, if I have the cash, I will want a boxed version to keep in the box. because I have one open that I can fuck with. And the only one I can even think of off the top of my head that I want new, unopened in box is the red Game Boy Pocket.
Yeah.
And the only reason is because that was my first Game Boy.
Yeah.
I remember as clear as day when Mom got it for me, the way the box looked, the way it felt when I opened it. It felt like I had a computer in my fucking hand.
Yeah.
To have that, because that is part of that experience, the box for me, because I'm in graphic design. I was like, oh, this looks so cool. Oh my God. So that plays into it. Action figures, if it doesn't have a good backing, I'm taking it out of the box.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the Misfits figure you saw at Walmart. The box for it is right there, but right above it, it's out of the box and it's standing out. Why? Because the box itself is just a plain black box with the crimson skull on it. And you have to open the box to see who it is inside. And even then, there's so much plastic in the way you can barely even see them.
Yeah.
So with that, fuck no, I'm not leaving that in the goddamn box. I'm taking that out.
But like someone who's not a Misfits fan, or like just a casual listener, I bought that.
Yeah.
I bought that because I just thought it was cool.
Exactly. Because out of the box and separate, it just looks like a cool little horror character.
Yeah. And like some of the stuff like I buy is stuff I'm going to play with. That's the 2 Darth Maul figures I bought. I'm probably not going to take out of the box for a little while until I get like somewhere to like a stand-in place to put them. But so right now they're just hanging on my wall in the package, and they still look cool, look like that. Now there's a gap because the Jar Jar Binks is gone. But like some of the stuff like Funko Pops, I know they're like the Beanie Babies of our generation. The only thing is I could actually play with it.
Yeah.
You know, so like all the Funko Pops I ever bought, I took them out of the box. Yeah. Because I wanted to play with them. The Stan Lee one I'm going to keep in the box because it looks cool in the box.
And it's meant to be kind of in a box like that.
Yeah, but like it's got a case. The case is part of it.
Yeah.
But like some of the stuff, I kind of ran into this wall when it came to like a hobby because I can't collect anything without going bankrupt like everyone else. So what I'm doing is I have a collection of just stuff I like, and that is what I collect. I recently got Mikey Black 2 Funko Pops. That'll go with one he has because he's a big Dragon Ball Z fan. I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. But in the back of my mind, I might keep these goddamn things. You know, like these look pretty fucking cool out the box if I start playing with them, but nah, they're a gift. But like that in my mind, I'm looking up stuff that I like, and Funko being a pop culture, zenith when it comes to making shit, they've gotten some Funko Pops I want to get. They have a Tony Soprano one coming out because I love the Sopranos. Yeah. So I'm buying that motherfucker so when it comes out, and that's what sucks is you got to wait too.
Yeah.
And
you'll also find, at least in my case, a lot of action figures get released with the intention of them kind of staying in the box. Yeah. Like, for instance, those Misfit figures. Yeah. Those are tiny little, I think, 6-7 inch figures, 5-inch figures.
Yeah, 5-inch,
Yeah, little 5-inch figures of the Crimson Ghost. However, it's in a bunch of different color variations, and they all match to a certain album cover or a certain era. The actual figure itself isn't that different. One's black, one's green, one's pink, one's yellow, one's orange. Yeah. But the main hook of it is the cool backing card and how it all kind of ties together.
It's supposed to be meant for a set.
Exactly. So now, if I were to open, which I have no, those don't retain value. If I were just to crack all of them open and put them on a shelf, they would actually not look as cool as they do, all kind of being like smashed together on a wall, almost being like a big 3D art piece.
So when you talk about that kind of thing, the exact opposite of this was something that was in grocery stores, the little 25-cent vending machines.
Yep.
Anybody who's my age knows that you could buy the NFL helmets and the 25-cent vending machines, and this is back when the Oilers existed.
And you put little stickers on them. I remember those.
The stickers were already on them. But guess what? That was actually part of a company that wasn't that vending machine company. It was part of IHOP. Did you know that?
I didn't know that specifically.
IHOP had a special card you could buy, a 12-inch by 12-inch card, and you put the helmets on that card to determine who's playing that week. it literally had a thing where you just set them on the little card.
That's pretty cool.
And I never knew that. I found that out later when I was looking for those little helmets because I was like, they're 25 cents in 1997.
Yeah.
They can't be $25 for the set. That'd be ridiculous. Because
that's what you saw.
I'm just like, God damn, I love the Oilers, but they ain't not that goddamn much. But like those were things I had as a kid, and my dad really liked it because he loves football, and he's like, oh shit, my son's buying these little things, and so like, let's do that. But like that was a little niche thing that kind of evolved naturally through hobbyists and stuff like that, and like collectors. I don't say hobbyists, collectors is what they fucking are.
They are.
But
They're collectors. Hobbyists are someone that likes to build model trains or RC cars or planes and shit.
But I want to get into collecting, but I don't want to get into a specific collecting thing.
Yeah,
that brings you down because eventually you're going to get to that point, a stopgap of just like, damn, it's too expensive to do this hobby anymore. Like I can imagine the horrific record collector who is just like finding that one golden item and it's just like out of his reach, and it's always going to be out of his reach. And
here's the problem. So I think I'm starting to understand those people more, and because I'm understanding them, it's preventing me from going down that same path. Because I noticed this in myself recently. So last year when I started really getting back into the Misfits bootleg stuff, I was just looking online at random things I could purchase. And I ran across this record that I'd completely forgotten about. And it was a bootleg record. But it was like alternate mixes of an upcoming record, and the files are easily found online. I've got the MP3s, but the band never put it on record. Some bootleg company did. They're superior mixes, in my opinion. It would have been cool to have. When I saw it back in the day, it was like $30, and it was really hard to justify buying that, and it only had like 6 or 7 songs on it for $30 back in the early thousands or early 2010s. I can't do that. They're going for anywhere between $400 to $500 now online.
Yeah.
If my dumbass teenage self had just bitten the bullet and gotten the fucking thing, that would be worth buku money.
Yeah. Well, that's the hindsight of everything, man.
So that's that record collector thing.
Yeah.
They go, oh man, that thing I saw years ago, everywhere. I could have had so many copies of it, and now it's going for 3 times the price. I'm not going to let that happen again.
Yeah.
So then they purchase every single variant, every single color. It artificially inflates record sales, all this other stuff. And then sorry, my brain farted. The stock and demand is not truly there because the aftermarket is flooded with resellers, just like the live ticket market.
It happened in the comics industry when the Death of Superman comic came out. Everybody bought like 5 goddamn copies, and there's like, this is gonna be worth a bunch of money when it comes. No, because everyone has 5 copies,
and now people are using those copies for like fucking wallpaper. Like literally, I saw someone make a wall of Death of Superman comics. They're all back and boarded, but like all the covers just up in a row, and they're like, "Yeah, I was grabbing these for like $1 or $2 off eBay, like a madman."
That actually, it's kind of a funny story. Well, to me, it's funny. Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, got ramshackled by comics because he bought a shit ton of comics for a bunch of money, and then he had to sell them for like less value. I'm not saying that led to Oklahoma City bombing, but
I'm sure it didn't help.
I'm just saying like a terrorist got fucked over on some comics is a funny fucking headline.
that is a pretty funny anecdote. I do have to admit.
It's just like, yeah, I knew Osama bin Laden. I sold him an Aquaman 1 comic for like $1,000. The shit ain't worth a dime. But it's just like that kind of funny story. Like, oh god damn it, what an idiot.
Well, hopefully today we'll actually be hitting a couple of comic game shops. And
I'm excited.
If anything, just for me, window shopping just to see what they've got. But I'm always going to be keeping my eye on.
You got your material thing today.
Yes, I did. But
you know what I would love to find is a comlink.
Oh,
that's the expensive one out of the collection. That's always expensive because you got to think it better fucking work when you buy it.
So I actually have 2 things that I'm tempted to bring with me to see if I could start up my trade, because I actually have 2 Pokemon DS games, and I looked them up online, and they both go for anywhere between $80 to $100.
Hell yeah.
So I might bring those with me. And if I run across something I really do want, I might try to use that as a barter trade, and then try to start the ball rolling with that. Exactly. So this is actually something that might work out. It's kind of start with the $0. Okay, I want to build my collection with $0. Let me grab a few things I don't want, flip it, start collecting up. Should be fun.
Dig through all my old electronics and find the old. You remember the snap music?
Hit clips.
I'm like, I got a Britney Spears hit clip. She's back, baby. Britney, bitch. Oh God, hit clips. I just coughed a little dust. 9/11, George Bush, invasion of Iraq.
Well, let's fucking go into our news segment because we got some cool shit to talk about. Well, as I was just referencing there, Deadpool already got a new trailer. We got a better look at Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and not to pull the ha, but I fucking told you guys Wolverine was not going to be in fucking sleeves the entire time. Chris never said anything. I'm not yelling at him. I'm yelling at the internet as a collective. I fucking told you guys he was going to be fucking sleeveless in this goddamn movie. Why were you bitching because you saw sleeves on the man? He didn't want skin cancer. Fuck you.
The one thing I noticed about the trailer is the 3 X-Men variations from all the series is represented in the trailer. So you see Toad in the background from the old Singer X-Men, and then you see Azazel from First Class.
The long-nailed lady.
Yeah, Death Scythe. You see her, and she's from the Hugh Jackman X-Men United movie. And so it was really cool to see them because that's a pull.
It is.
If you're going to be this is going to be a down and out Easter egg hunt from hell. The guys from New Rock Stars and fucking any other goddamn YouTubers having a goddamn stroke trying to, when that movie comes out, they're going to be like, I don't know what's all in the movie.
So something I wanted to bring up to you. I watched New Rock Stars, and he proposed a theory. I don't like his theory.
I haven't heard his theory, so
I want to bounce off of it. He's correct in that Ryan Reynolds, being a mega nerd, always loves throwing in Easter eggs. Nothing is by accident in these movies. Now, they keep saying, let's fucking go, over and over in the trailer, and then they end it with LFG, and then the date. He thinks that could be an acronym for something. And whatever acronym he said, I don't think it's correct. However, it might stand for Logan blank Deadpool. Who can we think of in the X-Men, and this is a genuine question, not set up, who can we think of in the X-Men universe that starts with an F that could actually work in this movie?
That's kind of hard.
Exactly, but I feel like the Logan blank Deadpool might be onto something. Why else would they do the LFG like that? I don't feel like they would really refer back to let's fucking go like that on a title screen like
to say,
that.
Who's the F and who's the G? Yeah,
well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's something there.
Yeah, I don't know. They could do a small half-ass reference to I think his name's not Firestar. That's from DC.
Yeah,
but Flame something, White Flame.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, White Flame is powered by cocaine. Literally, he's powered by cocaine. But no, it's kind of hard to say. They could be a big X-Men reference by the end of the X-Men series of '97 coming out, because they're about to hit their mark. Which, by the way, fantastic. X-Men '97 blew it out the fucking park. Congratulations.
We also see Dogpool.
Yeah.
What dog is that? I've seen that dog before. The really long tongue. He's all kind of fucked up looking. That's like a popular meme dog.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the name of the breed off chance.
Yeah.
But no, the trailer looks fantastic.
The Madonna stinger was cool.
I do like the theory that Taylor Swift's going to be in it.
Yeah.
As Dazzler.
And then, of course, you've got the Harry Potter actor.
Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe. He's rumored to be one of the Wolverine variants.
Yeah, he's a funny actor anyway. So.
I find it interesting also that the TVA agent said this Wolverine let down his entire universe.
Yeah, so that's probably the Logan one. Mm-hmm. Well, what we see is a big Easter egg from the Dead Man Logan series is a dead Ant-Man, which is Pym Falls.
That's metal as fuck.
That is from the Logan comic, because Logan is out in the desert and he goes with Hawkeye, who's lost his arm, and says we need to go to Pym Falls. When you think of Pym Falls, you're thinking of like, oh, it's a place. No, this is where Ant-Man fell and died. This is where they killed him. So if that's Pym Falls from Logan, that means Red Skull killed Captain America. That means the Hulk family are out there somewhere. There's a lot of terrible things in this little one, and I think they're going to do the Doctor Strange thing and just kind of bounce between worlds a little bit until they run into like a dead zone TVA, where it's just like, this is all the garbage, except there's not a giant monster eating it all like in Loki. This is just where this is where we put the fucking garbage.
Well, Eliath is in the trailer.
Yeah, so yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that. And something else really interesting kind of hit, kind of in the gaming world. If you are an iOS user, you can now download this app called Delta, and you can now emulate Game Boy, NES, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64 games on your phone.
Oh yeah.
I know Android users have been able to do this forever, and of course you've been able to do it as like a side loader if you
third party.
Yeah, you can side load it on your iOS device if you wanted to, but now you don't have to go through all that trouble. You can actually just download ROMs directly to your phone and rock it out. Nintendo is super happy about this.
Yeah, if they let Apple do it, yeah.
Well, see, this is where that legal gray area comes in. So, through the Delta app, you cannot download anything. The Delta app is purely an emulator.
So it kind of works on the legalese of uTorrent. Mm-hmm. It's a facilitator.
It almost works in the same way QuickTime does.
Yeah.
QuickTime doesn't play pirated movies.
Man.
You download pirated movies and play it through QuickTime.
Yeah. Or VLC or whatever.
Exactly. So that's where they're kind of getting the workaround. There are plenty of non-copyright homebrew games that use .nes.gba as their source code.
Yeah, there's a fan-made Legend of Zelda game.
Well, that kind of falls under that legal gray area. I'm talking about like for instance, the Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl.
Yeah.
They have a port of that, which is an SNES based engine.
Yeah, it was on the Switch for a while.
Exactly. So, but they were able to put that on an actual cartridge for you to play it on, systems. So, if you wanted to emulate that game, you would need hardware that can run that software. That's where Delta comes in. Through Delta, you can emulate software built on that hardware. That is 100% legal.
Yeah.
Nintendo has no claim over that whatsoever. They can go after the people creating and uploading ROMs.
Yeah.
But Apple finally started standing on some business and went, no, this is fine. This company is not doing anything illegal, and it can be allowed on the App Store. You can suck a dick.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those codified laws that will be done very fast.
Well, see, this was maybe. I would be curious about that, if this would spark up another legality argument, because I remember Nintendo was making a big stink about this in the Wii U era, when a lot of desktop emulators were becoming popular. Not that they weren't around before then, but they were becoming a little bit more mainstream. Nintendo was trying to clamp down on that as well, and didn't have much success.
Yeah,
so
they put the hammer down on one guy recently, last year, on a guy who was doing Switch emulations.
Yes. So the actual emulators they're able to crack down on, but the emulation software, that's initially who they were trying to target. They were trying to target the Deltas.
It was kind of like the guy who created SNEX GX, the app for the phone.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
And the computer, that it's like, I think, SNES GX 9X or some shit, and it was the emulator to play Super Nintendo games, and it's perfect because the guy never added ads, and it was free, and he has a big disclaimer when you go and you click the details. He's like, I do not sell your fucking data.
Yeah.
And my name's Roy. I hope everyone enjoys. I love Super Nintendo. Yay. And like, it's
And
like,
see,
click.
and that's why you saw a lot of those emulators not go away but get renamed, because the only thing he could be in trouble with was calling it the Super Nintendo emulator.
Yeah.
If he called it the Super Game emulator or the Entertainment System emulator, there's nothing anyone can say or do.
Yeah.
So because Delta is just called Delta, they really don't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo's going to take this laying down, though.
No, you're talking about two titans of industry. They're about to go head to head.
I think they're going to go head to head in a different way.
Well, you talked about a merger a few times.
Well, I think not necessarily a merger this time around, but potentially something that could lead to it. I think Nintendo's going to look at this and say, okay, well, if we can't beat them, join them. Here's the Nintendo Switch Online for iOS.
Yeah.
Get rid of, just nip it in the bud. Be like, okay, fine, you bastards. If you're really going to put it on the phones, and if you really want this, we're going to provide a superior service where you can get games automatically downloaded to your phone, and as part of your Nintendo Online subscription already, we'll just bury you to the point where no one has any interest in using you in their mind.
Yeah, it could just be like an expansion to your like Switch account, you know. Which I don't know, man. It's hard to say what they're going to do.
I just definitely don't think they're going to do nothing. And so far, we've seen them do
gonna
nothing.
something. I just don't. I don't think it's going to look good on either side by the time they're done. They're two extremely privateers when it comes to theirs. So
yeah. Well, those were the only big little pieces of news that came across my table this week that felt noteworthy.
Well, it's been a while since we talked, so I'd be remiss not to say it. O.J. Simpson died.
Yeah, that's why I said there was no other news worth reporting.
Oh, that's worth reporting. Yeah, so that guy's dead.
Good riddance.
Well, yeah, whatever. His car went on sale. His white Bronco.
No, I missed that.
For $775,000. The Ford Bronco, which was formerly, well, it's not even his, it was owned by his friend Al Cowlings, and he sold it back then for $75,000 in the 90s. So he made a good penny off that shitty car. But no, the Bronco is for sale. It's in a crime museum currently, but it's on auction right now. At max at $700,750.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's on sale. There's currently right now there's a big when you talk about court, talking about legal, the family of Ron Goldman, the man who was killed. O.J. Simpson owed them a lot of money in a civil case, and he never paid. So
kept swerving.
So the estate, they're kind of wondering if the estate now has to pay the Goldman family the remainder of the money that O.J. never got. So there's a big fight about that right now.
Paraphrasing, this isn't an exact quote, but someone on the legal team for Simpson that was part of the beneficiary pact or what have you made a statement saying like, I'm going to ensure everything in my power that the Goldstein family does not see a penny from this estate, XYZ. And then like a day later was like, yeah, okay, fine. No, the things that have been submitted are going to go through. Thank you.
Yeah, because like he owed them money. Well, he's just been dodging them forever, which I think is hilarious, kind of. But no, he died. That was kind of just the bigger news.
Yeah.
But Fallout released on Amazon.
You said that was really good.
As a Fallout fan, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. They did a fantastic job. They've already been renewed for a second season. Walter Coggins does a great job. Everybody in the show does a great job. It looks accurate. But yeah, if you're a video game fan of Fallout, check that series out. It's worth the watch.
That's been a series I've actually wanted to try getting into playing.
Yeah, it's a role-playing game. It's big in like modding, so you love the mods.
Oh, nice.
But like, there's a lot of aspects to the Fallout. Like Fallout 4 is my favorite, but like it's not the best Fallout game. You know what I'm saying? Like Super Mario Brothers is my favorite, but it's not the best Super Mario game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, yeah,
I don't know. A lot of people would say World is the best.
Yeah, but like I say, like my favorite is Link to the Past, but it's not the best Zelda game. The best Zelda game is Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
So like, you can come for me on that. I don't give a shit.
I don't think a lot of people will.
Yeah, there's a reason it's $70 fucking. But no, that in the news, yeah, O.J. Simpson died. What a shame.
Well, the juice has expired.
Yeah, the juice has expired. All the jokes. So many fucking good jokes. I will say, Caitlyn Jenner's fucking response is, he's in hell, which... Bitch, you're a murderer too. Caitlyn Jenner ran over a person and killed them. Like, Caitlyn Jenner's going to hell, not because they're trans, because they're a murderer.
And everyone never forget Vince Neil killed a guy.
Vince Neil killed a guy. So did Laura Bush. So did Caitlyn Jenner.
Murderers.
All of them. That one stripper I knew. I'm not joking. She killed a guy. I joke about it all the time. She's very upset when I make her up. She did it on accident though.
Right.
Hey, it's the story I got told. Yeah.
Well, before we get implemented or implicated into any crimes, let's go ahead and move on over to our main topic where we're going to be getting a little bad. All right. Before we kind of dive into a little bit more Star Wars talk with May coming up around the corner, figure we'd take a little bit of a detour and talk another side of this comic world within DC. We've talked about the new Batman movies and everything else that came out, but I'm going to go ahead and say this up front. My personal favorite of the Batman series, let's talk about the Nolanverse movies, and I figured anywhere is a good place to start is Batman Begins. Again, for me, this is personally my favorite of the series. I didn't necessarily quote unquote grow up with this. I did grow up with Keaton Batman,
Joel Schumacher,
and I never saw that one as a kid even.
Yeah.
So
I love the Joel Schumacher one because it's fucking insane.
No, I think Mom was even like, no, I'm not going to subject him to this.
There's gangs with neon glow in the dark makeup who are like Day Dios Muerto gang, who have chains that are also dipped in that toxic fucking paint, and they look pretty fucking punk rock. Okay, I'm not going to lie. The gang members of the Joel Schumacher universe are fucking metal as shit, bro. You do not want to meet these guys at a rave. Like, they will fuck your shit up. They will mosh while listening to The Prodigy. They don't give a shit. Like,
I think that movie wound up just staying out of my peripheral because even though Mom was not the biggest fan of comic book or, fantasy things, she still had a certain eye for what was quote unquote cool or not. So she was a Tim Burton fan, so she appreciated the Burton Batman
Tim
films.
Burton had a very, very specific view of what he wanted to make, and goddamn, he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, so she really liked the Batman movies from that.
And the story about them not giving him a third movie is fucking ridiculous.
And I think that may have been part of the reason she kind of went, yeah, no, he's not going to watch these. It's not Tim Burton anymore. It's going to be weird. Because I remember shortly after, she was showing me a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas. So I definitely know she personally liked Tim Burton in that era. So she was kind of showing that to me. So even though I grew up with that era of Batman, I remember when Batman Begins came out, I was like, whoa. Now this is cool. Now this is Batman.
Yeah.
And it kind of reinvigorated my interest in that character, which was kind of hard to do because outside of Batman, I would not consider myself a DC fan.
I'm a DC fan because it's more of a consolidated universe as opposed to Marvel, which has Avengers, Guardians, X-Men. The world is small, but yet you have superpowered beings walking around casually, which I thought it is an allegory for civil rights. However, but like you also have like them toe to toe with like Captain America and Thor, gods and titans living with super mutants, and like if you contextualize as a regular person, you're like, oh my god, this is hell. I've done God. I'm living in hell. This is a terrible fucking. There's literally a red person who looks like a devil. I'm in hell. DC was there are regular people who could go toe to toe with those super powered people. Batman being the one. And that's why Batman's favorite is because Batman is just a man. but he's smart enough and he's pulled himself aside enough to be like, I could take them all fucking down. I want me to be the most dangerous motherfucker in the room, an average human man. And that's what is compelling to me about DC, is because he's not the only human man. You have other characters like Green Arrow, the Robins, you have all of them who are just upper echelon dangerous people who could take down those superpowered people. Like Superman can be taken down by a guy like Slade, who isn't superpowered, Deathstroke. That's what's compelling to me about DC. And sometimes when they kill somebody off, they fucking stay dead. Sometimes
that's always kind of nice.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, thanks to the magical wonder that is multiverse writing, they can live forever. But no, the Batman, this one was a little bit more down to earth, kind of like when the first 1989 Batman movie came out. That's what people really loved about this one, is because it reminded them of Batman's just a guy. He's cool as fuck. But this is like, how did he become Batman? This is the first time we ever get a movie like that, is how he became that. And it's very compelling. It's very well done. But yeah, the Batman Begins is fantastic. I personally am like the second one, like most people do. But no, Batman Begins was probably the best Batman movie ever.
So would you say that the Nolan movies are
superior?
So you agree with that?
Yeah, they are superior.
See, I was honestly thinking that you were going to say the 90s ones were superior.
Those are my favorite.
Or even like the current one.
The current one's fun because I love ripping on it. But something. Well, not even that.
That's what I like ripping on.
But my favorite thing to rip on is the Penguin's like, you guys are too dumb and white to realize that it's Spanish. You fucking idiots.
I love that.
I love that. Or the fact that, me and you're watching it, and it's just like the ballsiness of this masked man. It is like, I hate Gotham. I hate this place.
That one cop.
It's a dark, it's over the top dark in the Robert Pattinson movie. It is.
It is.
All right, it's Gotham what it should be. That's what Gotham is. People getting murdered. Terrible gangs. Getting the shit kicked out of them by a masked varmint. But the Christopher Nolan Batman movies are the best Batman movies. My favorite is the Joel Schumacher Batman and Robin because it's so goddamn dumb. And Batman Forever will always be my favorite Batman movie because Val Kilmer knocks it out of the park as Batman. Mm-hmm. And the Riddler for Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face in a comedic, fun role. You could tell he is fucking having a ball playing a comic book villain. Tommy Lee Jones, a fucking Academy Award-winning actor, playing a comic book. He's wearing a weird-ass prosthetic and a double suit. Is hilarious to me. That's the best thing. That's the best thing. And plus the Neon Gang members, fucking hilarious. We need to watch that. I'm just gonna be like, this is so fucking metal.
I'm down. I'm down for that.
But Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Shakespearean muscle man.
Hey, you should cool it.
Chill. He's having a ball. Joe, you talk to George Clooney, you talk to those guys. They're like, yes, this is the dumbest fucking movie I've ever been in. But they're just like, God damn, it was fun though.
Well, I mean, they played back to that on at the Oscars, Academy Awards, something. One of those fucking ridiculous award shows. DeVito and Schwarzenegger came out to list off the nominees, and they were like, actually, I think it had to do with special effects in film or something. Yeah. And they were like, no, but both of us aren't strangers to getting all dressed up and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I mean, both of us have been beaten up by the same kind of person. There he is, and then they pan over to Keaton.
Yeah,
and this is why I love Michael Keaton. He talked about this on an interview later. He goes, "We didn't know that was going to be something they wanted us to do until 10 minutes before." He goes, "So I knew I had to be Bruce Wayne for 5 seconds. I didn't look like Bruce Wayne. I wasn't dressed like Bruce Wayne. I ran to my car and got a handkerchief and tied it around my neck and made it a neckerchief and tucked it in, and just that alone, when they panned over to it, and it looked like fucking Bruce Wayne, all because of that fucking neckerchief. And it's just or the ascot rather. It's just oh shit, and it's like, that's why he's the fucking GOAT. It's just like, holy shit, I know how I can actually channel Bruce Wayne. He needs this one extra ridiculous piece. I can make one.
Yeah, it's look, all the movies are fun, all of them, but these are the more serious ones. These are the more down to earth, and like these are those movies. Like if you were to watch, it'd be hard to speculate if you could add a Superman later down the road. This is one of those ones where it's like, this is just Batman. Christopher Nolan has no qualms and has no issue, but he will not put an Easter egg for Metropolis. He will not put an Easter egg for The Flash.
No.
He will not mention Wonder Woman in the slightest. This is just Batman. This is just this movie. Fucking period. And I think that's the best part of it.
Yeah.
Because Tim Burton did the same thing. Joel Schumacher has a Metropolis joke in one of the movies, but this one is, super metahumans don't exist.
Yeah,
the villains are over the top, yeah, but they're practical, they're real. And like when we're talking about, hey, the villain of this is Ra's al Ghul. This is the first time we've ever seen Ra's al Ghul in a live action setting, and we get the Scarecrow, another compelling victim. I called victim,
villain,
but but a victim too.
Yeah,
but
to a point. Yeah,
but
I would agree.
You got two guys to play. You got two great actors to do it. You got Cillian Murphy to play in Scarecrow, and you got Liam Neeson. These guys are perfect actors in their field, and they're both from overseas. So you got that element to add with it because they're out of the element. They're just not quite. There's something not quite right about these two guys.
Yeah,
and the Easter eggs in this movie are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So we get the classic scene of Bruce's parents have been killed. They've been killed by a guy, and it's not the Joker.
Yep.
It's the guy named Joe Chill, I think.
Joe Chill, yeah.
All right, and that's comic book accurate to a point. All right. He's I'm not saying Christopher Nolan is Kevin fucking Feige when it comes to nerdom, because no one can go against that motherfucker. But he read the material and what he wanted to do, and he stuck with it.
Yeah.
And he made it down to earth, because we get the court scene.
Yes.
So
filled with fucking Easter eggs.
yes. So we get the court scene, and we see that Bruce, like Christian Bale, one of the best method actors ever. If you notice how his posture is in the movie, and I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but I remember watching it, I'm like, they're making Christian Bale look kind of weak in the beginning. He slouches. He doesn't make eye contact with people. He puts his head down and cocks it a little bit, and it makes him like non-sociable. He's not
skittish.
Yeah, but he's not Bruce Wayne. Wayne. He's not like, I'm getting my.
He's Bruce Wayne by name only.
Yeah, he's not getting his dick sucked and buying a restaurant in front of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the Bruce Wayne we all know, who just happens to dress up and fight crime when he could just beat crime with money, with giant sacks of money.
But I like the courtroom scene because you were seeing Joe Chill on the stand implicating Carmine Falcone. I will forever call him Falcone. It's not Falcone.
Yeah.
Ask any fucking Italian mob boss how you say that name. It's Falcone. It's not Falcone.
That's how I would ask an Italian mob boss. I tell him to get the pasta out of his pockets and ask him why he's in my fucking piece of meat.
So yeah, so it's implementing Carmine Falcone in the murder. And that's when you get
another thing about Christopher Nolan, he keeps the same people.
Yes, and we get introduced to Rachel at that time as well.
Rachel Dawes.
So in rewatching this movie about a few weeks ago, I was blown away by just how much they were able to pack into that first little bit of lore building. I'm just like, oh shit, they're already introducing the Falcone family. Joe Chill. Okay, there's Rachel. All right, we're like 10 minutes into this movie. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the Amazing Spider-Man when it was like, hey, this is the Gwen Stacy Spider-Man. Let's go way back. Let's go way back before Kim Basinger as the reporter who's in love with Bruce Wayne, or Catwoman. Let's take it back, and because another thing happens later on in the movie where there's a second court scene. She's defending she's going after a killer named Victor Zsasz. For people who don't know, Victor Zsasz is a newer Batman villain, when they tried to make the villains for Batman more serial killer-ish, Victor Zsasz scars his arms and body every time he kills someone, and he's covered in fucking scars, and he uses a knife to kill people. He is an actual, like, if you would describe a murderer, that could be a real person, but he was a Batman villain. That was a very big Easter egg for me. I'm just like, please tell me this motherfucker cuts loose. Because I want to see Christian Bale break this dude's fucking head open.
Yeah.
Because Victor Zsasz is a real killer. There's nothing like over the top dramatic. Like, he's not like the Joker or Two-Face or the Killer Croc, it's such a sci-fi accident. No, this motherfucker is a real goddamn serial killer that a superhero has to take down.
Yeah.
This is fucking bad shit. Because he has other ones later on, like Professor Pig, which was a guy who mutilates people's faces, and like Hush, which I thought, because we all thought Hush was going to be the big character, but god damn it, they did us one over.
So yeah, let's see. I'm just wanting to make sure we're not missing anything, because again,
He brings a gun to court.
Yeah, I forgot about that when I was watching it the first time. I was just like, oh shit,
he was going to plug that motherfucker.
He about fucking pulled. What was that? What was the popular news footage of
Bud Dwyer?
Yeah,
the guy that kills himself with the butt gun.
No.
The guy that kills the pedophile.
Yes.
Yeah, the dad. Super dad is what I call him.
That's literally. I'm sure they had that in mind when they were making it, because I fully saw that about to happen.
Fun fact: I read up about him recently. He only got 5 hours probation.
Good on him.
No time served.
Good.
But no, he's just so there.
I hear stories like that, and I go, there is justice in the world.
Yeah, no, he plugged that motherfucker in a goddamn courthouse hallway. But
I still
because there's another video of a woman doing that, of a guy who killed like her son, and this is just like straight up it's not like passerby footage. This is like someone put a camera on this woman and just happened to let the camera sit there, and she just like walks up, has a trench coat on, and like the camera's not moving. And you just see her pull out a gun and go pop, 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 pop past the camera. And the camera guy, like, you can tell the camera guy's like, oh shit, let me grab my camera. And he caught on footage her putting 5 rounds in the back of a guy who raped her son. And I'm just like, good on you.
Yeah.
But goddamn, like, this is like,
check your surroundings.
This is like real, like, news anchor footage, not in the field footage.
Right.
It's like somebody just left the camera rolling and someone just walked up and murdered somebody.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, Bill, fix my mic real quick. He's like, fucking fine. Sets his camera down, walks away to fix the mic.
Yeah. But no, Bruce Wayne chickens out.
Yep. And I thought that was something else interesting too, because that's not really something that I have noticed that was happening in any of the other films, is they have not delved into why does Bruce Wayne have certain mentalities on what he does? Because in this series of films, Bruce Wayne is anti-gun. He is not anti-killing.
People may die by accident.
Yes. He has kind of... I was listening for that specifically when I was rewatching that, because everyone loves crying anytime Batman pulls out a gun or anytime it seems like Batman kills somebody.
He kills like Spider-Man kills in the PlayStation game. By accident.
He just Gwen Stacy's a bunch of motherfuckers.
Yeah, like if I chuck him off a 36th floor building and web him at fucking
just by his feet
at Mach 30 into a brick wall, he might forget second grade, or he might have his brain pan just destroyed out from under.
But hey, Spider-Man.
But the only Batman that I know, Batman I know that kills is Ben Affleck,
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, but like Ben Affleck really fucking murders. Like that's what I love about Ben Affleck. That motherfucker does P90X all goddamn day. He's like, I'm gonna fuck Wonder Woman. I'm gonna high five my super alien friend, and I'm gonna fucking murder some motherfuckers. I love here. Like there's 2 guys on YouTube that are stunt guys, and they're just like, yeah, this is the best Batman fight ever, and it's the Zack Snyder Batman versus Superman, and he pops out of the floor and kills all those thugs. Yeah, that's the best Batman fight, because all those guys are dead. He doesn't have to turn his back and wonder if the guy's going to come out with a stick. No, that guy's fucking dead. That guy had a family. They're going to bury his ass because Batman fucking murdered him. Michael Keaton killed a couple clowns in the Tim Burton movie by accident. Except for that fat one. He murdered the fat one. But I digress. The Christian Bale, the whole thing about Batman doesn't kill is he's above killing.
Yeah.
But it's above killing the supervillains. He'll kill a henchman.
That was the thing. It's like, I don't know why people get so uptight about that. It's like, in all the media I have consumed and seen, Batman is anti-gun because a gun killed his parents.
But it also,
that's the only thing I've ever seen.
But it actually goes back a little bit further during the television show with Adam West. They weren't allowed to kill anybody in the television series.
Well, yeah.
But like that goes back to like the comic book code the writers had to go by.
Yeah.
They couldn't kill. And guns was a big part of that. Like when the guns go off, it's all flash.
Yeah. Pow, bang.
Yeah. But like that's something they had to deal with. So they ported that over. And since Batman, like Spider-Man, is such a huge goddamn franchise, yeah, you're going to keep those elements in there. You know, this happens. It's a cultural like touchstone that just builds and builds and builds. Batman does kill.
Yeah.
But
and I don't think
it adds to the mythos of the perfect Batman who doesn't kill because he's smart enough to take down the bad guy without killing him, because it's so simple to kill the bad guy.
Yeah.
But he's always taking his villains to Arkham or getting them arrested, because if you killed the Joker in episode 1, you can't bring him back. That sucks.
Yeah.
Until you make a new Batman. But if I put him in prison and he escapes at the end of the third goddamn movie, yeah, now it's compelling.
Yeah. And the argument I always throw at someone, I'm just like, okay, so you're meaning to tell me Batman is perched up like a fucking cat looking over the city?
Like a bat.
I don't know. The way he sits is like a fucking cat, dude.
He stands like a fucking alpha male in the goddamn animated series, just looking at everybody and just disappears.
All of a sudden, random henchman of the week is holding a 3-year-old child by the scruff of the shirt, Green Goblin style, over a fucking building.
First mistake, living in Gotham.
The only way Batman can take this guy out is with a batarang to the neck.
Yeah.
Sheek. One shot, one kill, gone. By the time the guy's dropping, he can swoop in, grab the girl, and, fucking whatever, light shoot out there.
Yeah.
You're meaning to tell me Batman is not going to second guess fucking slicing open this motherfucker's throat to save this little girl?
Oh, no, he's a murderer.
Yeah.
No, he's murderer, but he's...
Batman's just not going to blow his fucking brains out with a gun.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yeah. We'll talk about it on the third movie. We'll talk about that when we talk about his use of guns. That bike has a lot of guns on it for a man who doesn't like guns.
I do agree. I did clock that.
I don't use guns. Guns are wrong. You have 2 50 cal machine guns on a fucking motorcycle.
I didn't shoot a person with them.
Catwoman shot him.
They were there for Catwoman.
Oh, the pawn shop excuse. I sell guns. I don't use guns. You fucking piece of shit.
But anyway, back to the movie. This movie does a really good job at intertwining these scenes with the scenes of him being cast in and brought into another great Easter egg, the League of Shadows.
Yeah, so he decides to go down the path of crime, but he's trying to hone himself in skills, just like Batman does. Why is Batman so badass? Because Batman is a master of none. He goes into other study. He knows judo. He knows multiple martial arts. He knows how to be a detective. He knows how to observe, how to tell things about crime, how to analytics, how tactics. That's why he doesn't have to slash that dude's throat. He can hit him with a batarang. There's the tactics of Batman are just as important as the actions of Batman. So he's trying to hone that skill to be something better, to make his home, Gotham, a better place. He's just not quite where he wants to be, and what he's not honed the idea into a Batman, but he just wants, this is what I could do to figure out why people are committing crime. He's doing, it's very altruistic to figure out why people do crime, because the people he ends up going to a prison first.
Yes.
Because he's stealing some shit. But now he's ingratiated himself in the crime culture to be a better tactician of, okay, when I go back home, I'm a rich man. What can I do to prevent that guy from turning to crime and becoming that guy in prison?
And I don't think that was even his true idea when he was being brought into the League of Shadows.
Well, the League of Shadows is later on, but
yeah.
But I'm talking about the crime when he's in the prison and stuff.
Okay, gotcha. Because the one bit that, again, because it had been forever since I had rewatched these movies, I did not realize how effective and how much it added to the Bruce Wayne Batman story, him having that training montage in the mountains.
On the Ice Fortress, yeah.
Yes, when he had to bring that flower up to the top of the mountain, and then that began his training and everything else.
You see the faux Ra's al Ghul, which looks like Ra's al Ghul from the series, which I loved.
And all the stuff between like him and Liam Neeson, like everything Liam Neeson was saying and all of that, it was just like, damn, this really does add to the mythos and the reason and the understanding of what Batman is. This is a very good big first movie.
Yeah, and like I think Christopher Nolan knew that if I knock this out of the park, they're going to give me a second movie. Because in interviews, he said as soon as they finish the second movie, we're done. He's like, I did it, guys. I made 2 Batman movies, and people fucking loved them. They're universally adored. And then they're like, hey, man, you want to make another one? And he literally thought of saying no. But he made that third one. And to me, it's a good ending.
I love it.
These 3 movies are a perfect trilogy. That you don't need to add to them. You don't need to take away anything from them. Everything you need. It's like a perfect joke. Everything is there, and you can't take anything away from it and ruin it. Or will ruin it. But what you're saying about the League of Shadows, yeah, it's a perfect montage of him becoming better, faster, smarter. And the reason I think they
the transformation from that Bruce Wayne you mentioned in the courtroom, the shy, meek, antisocial Bruce Wayne is all of a sudden turning into
and dangerous man,
Iron Dick Bruce Wayne,
Iron Man. But no, it's a perfect montage scene. But the turning point is they want him to kill a man, a thief.
Yeah, and he's like,
I can't do that. He's like, I believe in the group, but I can't do it. And Liam Neeson's just like, you gotta.
You're embarrassing me in front of the wizard.
Yeah, you're really fucking me over here, guy. And he just can't do it. And then there's the brawl to get out, and that to me is a perfect fucking scene.
Oh yeah.
And so, but there is, like, by the end of the movie, you find out, oh no, they were targeting Bruce Wayne because they wanted Bruce Wayne to destroy what his father built, because they wanted to. This is their job, is to level a city of sin, and Gotham is the city of sin. And they were going to use the son of the man who built the city to destroy the city.
And I think the reason that is so effective, and I was so captivated by that, is how well they call back to that for the last movie.
Yes.
It felt like they put a button on it by the end of this movie. And even knowing what happens in the third, I was watching the first being like, that was a good self-contained movie. And holy shit, they still brought that back to fulfill the final prophecy type deal. And I'm just like, it made me actually enjoy the third one even more.
Yeah.
Now at an older age, seeing how much care and detail was put into the first movie.
And, going back when he returns to Gotham, the return of Bruce Wayne, we're getting a Bruce Wayne who is, he's Bruce Wayne, but he's not. He's billionaire Bruce Wayne, but he's not in control of Wayne Enterprises. He's lost control because he left, and because he was, away. The company kind of went public, and now there's a new CEO, the main guy, played by the guy from Blade Runner.
Character name, William Earl.
Well, he takes over, and during his time here at Wayne Enterprises, he befriends Lucius Fox, Morgan Freeman's character.
Yes,
Lucius Fox,
the company archivist.
Yes, also head of R&D at one time. So this is actually a play on the Arkham Knight series, where Lucius Fox is heavily introduced in the comics and the video games as the guy who builds all the stuff for Batman.
Yeah,
which I like. It was cool having Batman make his stuff, or it alluded that him and Alfred probably built the Batmobile. Nah, let's just have a guy who's good at that one thing, who keeps everything hush-hush. It's okay to have a third man in the game who's just not part of the crew.
And it was and again, talking about the world building of the series, all of Batman's tech was unused army stuff that Wayne Enterprises was making under the table because they were supplying the war dogs with equipment.
The Batmobile is a bridge builder vehicle. It was just shoot harpoons and then cross the river to lay a foundation for a bridge for a military convoy. The Batmobile in this one, pretty fucking cool.
I like it.
It reminds me of Batman Year One, the Frank Miller tank he had when he's fighting those fucking thugs. That's what I liked about it. It was big, bulky, and fucking kind of terrifying to look. Because if you saw that on the goddamn street, you're just like, what the fuck is that goddamn thing? Because it could take down a transfer truck.
I wish I could remember the exact quote, but there was a line from Lucius Fox that actually made me like make a noise out loud, being like, ha! Like that. And it was something along the lines of, it was like the second or third time Bruce had come to him. And this time he was like, do you have anything that can like kind of help me glide? You know, kind of in distances. And he's just like, for what for, Mr. Wayne? He's like, paragliding.
Like spelunking.
Yeah, spelunking. This and yeah. And Lucius kind of turns to him. He's just like, Mr. Wayne, I frankly don't care what you want to do with this, but do not believe that I am a fool. Like that, or something along those lines. And it's like at that moment, everyone knew that Lucius knew.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that was such a baller line.
But it was also like, hey, I told this rich guy about this tank we have underground, and then I see this tank on television on the interstate. I don't care. I really don't give a shit.
This is your shit, Mr.
My
Wayne.
office is in a box in a basement, so like, I'm not going to give a shit. You do, but it was really cool to see all the stuff that he was able to transfer over when he's first starting out, because when he first kind of starts out, he doesn't have like the cowl. He doesn't have all this. He's basically, when he meets Gordon,
he's in a ski suit.
Yeah, he looks like a burglar.
Yeah.
But it looked very cool. Because it reminded me of like when you're playing a game and you're trying to build your character up, and like this is like, oh, I got this gear, and I'm trying to build up. Yeah, it was a good little. Robert Pattinson's character kind of does the same thing when he first uses his glider. Yeah, and he crashes, and it's just like, yeah, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. Yeah.
And I think and all of that kind of stuff is really builds the character up more, and I think that kind of is what was missing. Maybe in some of the newer ones, like in Batman, Superman, or even the Robert Pattinson one, is all of these things that we're kind of focusing on, to me, build the character of Batman. Yeah. They build a reason, they give him motivation, they give him a reason, and you actually have a reason to be invested. Yeah. Like, almost in retrospect, the only reason you really follow and believe earnestly the new Robert Pattinson movie, I believe, is because of movies like this. Yeah. You are aware of this type of backstory, so you apply that sort of passion and reason to these new movies. In retrospect, the new one did not have this kind of world building or character building.
I think it was like origin fatigue by the time the Robert Pattinson movie came out. Same with like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We don't meet Uncle Ben.
No, but you know what? I think
it's fatigue.
Yeah.
Of us just constantly seeing two people get fucking murdered all the time. We know it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, I think they could have even re-edited this movie to not even show the murder. Yeah. Because it could have been like, I mean, hell, even for the time, those quick like flash cuts, like literally like in between the cuts, it's like the white, takes over the screen, wow, wow, kind of thing. They could have had just like a couple like boom, 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 almost still slow-mo frames of like, them leaving, in the middle of the alleyway, then like that off in the distance echo, oh no,
yeah. That happens in the Batman Forever movie.
Yeah.
Actually.
So it's like they could have just done that, and that would have been enough. We wouldn't have to drag it out. But you know what? In that argument, if we're truly in the origin fatigue, why did we get that in the new Affleck Batman?
That is in there because Zack Snyder was going to use those two people to make the variant Batman with Jeffrey Dean Morgan as
the Batman Who Laughs.
No, the Thomas Wayne Batman who shoots guns.
Yeah, that's the one where
the Batman,
Bruce.
the Batman Who Laughs is a whole different thing.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the one where in the alternate universe Bruce gets shot.
Yeah, and
the mom turns into the Joker.
And that's the one.
Okay,
but yeah, he has a big red Batman symbol on his fucking chest, and he uses guns, and he drinks, and he beats the dog shit out of fucking villains till they confess, and then he murders them.
I will say
that's why they're in the movie.
I've read those panels. That is such a shoehorned kind of origin because
it's the Flashpoint Batman. That's what it is.
Because you just see like the dad like getting that calloused like I can't believe this happened, while the mom is like
she has a mental breakdown.
Yeah, and like the mascara is running, and then the lipstick smears. It turns into like this Joker-esque Harlequin makeup.
But that plays into the Robert Pattinson Batman when they talk about the mental illness that ran in his mother's side of the family.
That was a cool Easter egg.
The Arkham side of the family.
Yeah.
So like it all plays together. You can play fast and loose. Zack Snyder was wanting to do something very particular. It just the ball got dropped somewhere along the line. Yeah. But that's just what happened with him. He made this stupid fucking sci-fi thing on Netflix that's crashing and burning. So like, who gives a shit about him?
Oh, that Star Wars ripoff,
Rebel Moon.
Yeah. But yeah, so the rest of the movie kind of all runs pretty concurrently. Like they spent a lot of time making sure they built up,
his
the
crime
beginning.
fighting, his going after Falcone, the other gangster families, and you see the. I think his name's like O'Neill or Reynolds or something. The shitty cop with Gordon.
Yes.
The corrupt cop.
He's always got a shitty cop.
There's always a corrupt cop hanging around Gordon. And Gordon is just a cop. He's not Commissioner Gordon till the second movie, till the end of the second movie.
That's right.
But Gary Oldman playing Commissioner Gordon was a fantastic...
Best Gordon so far.
And I'm torn between the Alfreds because the last 3 Alfreds we got are fucking fantastic. Andy Serkis in the Robert Pattinson one. Jeremy Irons in the Zack Snyder one, and Michael fucking Caine. You got guys who could play villains like a motherfucker to play Alfred, and Christopher Nolan just happened to drop these little Easter eggs with this Michael Caine Alfred. He's like, yeah, I killed a bunch of fucking protesters. I don't give a fuck. My hands are bloody, Mr. Wayne. That's why I work for your daddy. He changed my name.
Honestly, everything you just said, I 100% co-sign all day long. I think this might still be my favorite Alfred, though, because it's the only Alfred that even during these rewatches put a lump in my throat. Michael Caine is such a good actor that every time he's on screen, no matter how many times I've heard him say lines, when he says stuff like, I mean, hell, when he's looking at the tombstone in the last movie and he's just like, I failed you, Master Wayne. I failed your family. God, even just saying that now just like washes me with a bit of emotion because you can see that old man, you see the passion in his face, and it's just like, oh my God, he's such a good actor. So
and for him, all right. So for him to go from like the third movie, and him in the second movie telling Bruce Wayne that Rachel dies. Spoiler alert. And the whole time, just these little monologues halfway through the movie, just like, I was in Burma, right?
Yeah.
And I was smoking hashish with a fucking air prince, and we were hunting jewel thieves in the fucking Yukon Delta. And it's just like, what? God, like, Batman does not turn around. Bruce Wayne does not turn around and be like, whoa.
Yeah, he should have been like, Bruce should have just turned around and been like, I'm talking about a fingerprint I found on the safe. What the fuck are you talking about?
Some madmen want to be caught. Some madmen just want chaos. And it's just like
for instance, this time when I was in Nazi Germany.
I was killing Nazis for the crown. That's another thing. The ambiguous timeline that is Alfred. He somehow a spy in World War II, a fucking a spy in World War II in some part, or he's a fucking CIA MI6 fucking in the Mekong Delta in Vietnam, or he's somehow knee deep in the Cold War, and it's just like, this man is immortal. And I think he might be the devil. I think he might be Mephisto of the DC universe. I think he's a timeless shapeshifter because they made that stupid comic where they made one stupid comic where Alfred was the Joker, and I'm just like, ugh. To keep Bruce Wayne busy, he dressed up as the Joker constantly.
That's a little weird.
That was fucking bullshit. And I think that was during the Kevin Smith run where right before he left. But he didn't do it. But I'm just saying, like,
I was gonna say,
I think he was there because I remember him talking on LPN about that because he was doing the Aquaman. Yeah, he was doing Aquaman.
Yeah,
Kevin Smith was doing Aquaman, and they did that release of the Batman with Alfred painting his face while the Batman leaves, and it's just like, this is the most surreal fucking. I get it, it's fan fiction, like, pretty much, because it's a one issue like thing, and it's like, that is batshit. My favorite one.
Look, I was gonna say, I was like, even if Kevin Smith wrote that. Look, as much of a fan of his I am, the man ain't perfect. That wouldn't have surprised me. He made fucking Bruce Wayne piss himself once, so I mean...
Well, he eats pussy, I know that. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Batman eats pussy.
And a few years ago, apparently, he has a major schlong.
Yeah. Well, if you're going toe-to-toe with Superman, you better not have a small one. He's just going to x-ray vision you. You pussy. This is what a real cock looks like. He pulls out an alien dick. It's like, oh, that's gross.
He's like, this is what the bad dragon was modeled after.
But so going into this, he's building up, but he's finding like this undercurrent. Something's happening with Cillian Murphy's character, the Scarecrow. Practical effects, perfect. The idea of he's pumping in a toxin into a borough of Gotham that is riddled with crime, poor, no way out.
Kind of Jokerish.
Yeah, kind of Jokerish. But he's pumping in this chemical, that a fear toxin.
Yes.
A hallucinogen that is made from the flower that Bruce Wayne carried at the beginning. So you can see the plan kind of unfolding with the League of Shadows, and like, oh no, we hired a crazy guy. He's not part of the League of Shadows, but he's with us. And that kind of reminds me of like the Arkham series video games.
Yes.
That did such a perfect job in like Arkham Knight and Arkham City with the villains, because the villains in those games were done perfectly. They did a lot of the guys from the animated series to come back and do their voices, especially Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, the original guy that did Mr. Freeze's voice. But
R.I.P. Kevin.
Yeah, but having these guys come back and be played in live action, fantastic.
I agree.
And I love Cillian Murphy's little Easter egg in the second movie where he's still around. And he gets attacked in the parking lot.
Oh, well, he's got cameos in all three because he's the judge in the third one.
I sentenced you to a night of the cold sweat. And that's a very surreal fucking scene, because if you go back and watch the third movie, we'll talk about it.
Oh, of course.
But like, it's an altar of law. He takes all the law books and makes an altar.
Yes.
And he's sitting on it like a madman. And it's just like, that's pretty fucking metal.
It's fucking awesome.
Is Megadeth played at the background?
But yeah, Rachel is actually the one that accuses Crane of the corruption.
Yeah, this is the Victor Zsasz scene. He's like, Victor Zsasz is an innocent man who suffers from... It's like, no, the guy's a serial killer. Let's light his ass on fire.
And that's around the same time that he also reveals that he's been working for Ra's al Ghul. So this is when basically everything just kind of starts coming to a head. Crane unloads the airborne toxins, causing mass hysteria. Yep. He sets Wayne Manor aflame and leaves Bruce to die, but Alfred is able to rescue him. Ra loads the emitter into Gotham's monorail train to release the drug into the water source, and Batman rescues Rachel from the drugged mob because he was able to... and he reveals his identity to her.
Oh, when they're in the chase scene and she looks up and sees Batman and it's this giant bat fucking demon, it's just like, yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
That's my boy Fran.
Well, the Scarecrow is actually ODing on his own shit, and he's riding a horse, and then you see him as like the headless horseman from Sleepy Hollow God.
Fucking metal as hell.
Yeah, dude, it's just like, fuck, how do you God damn? Because like, if you play the Arkham games, the guy that puts Batman down is Scarecrow.
Yep.
or he hot shots him, and you find out that, oh no, Batman's been fighting you for so long, he's immune to your bullshit. I will say the best Scarecrow is in the Arkham games with the syringe hands and like the mouth that's sewn to his mask.
That is creepy as fuck, but
they
awesome.
did a perfect fucking job making that character. I'm just waiting for the next Batman movie, Robert Pattinson, because that would be a cool Scarecrow with the fucking syringes for fingers, like a Freddy Krueger.
God.
I'm coming for your dreams, boy.
That would be fucking awesome.
Has the hat.
Oh God.
Has the mask that's fused to his face because Batman is overzealous and kicked him in the face so hard the burlap like melted to his face.
Oh man. I want that fucking movie now. Oh God, that'd be so fucking great.
Yeah, when Jonathan Taylor Thomas comes out of acting and comes back to play Batman, that'd be fun.
I thought it was, I don't know, just one of those random things that it's like this movie was so serious and so brooding. There's a couple little silly moments, like they play up the Batman disappearing for a couple laughs.
Yeah. Like, where the fuck did he go?
Yeah. The other one that I don't think it was meant to be intentionally funny, but it kind of was right before Ra's al Ghul died.
Oh yeah, I thought you didn't kill. He's like, no, I don't kill, but I don't have to save you either. Yep. And it's like, wow, you loopholed your own fucking mantra, you piece of shit.
I laughed so
what a
hard.
dick.
And like the look on his face of, oh shit.
Oh no, I didn't make this simple, motherfucker. It's very complicated. Like there's a lot of like elements that have to kick off for you to die by my hand.
And it's like, and they tried to save it by giving him like the warrior death of like him just closing his eyes and accepting it kind of thing. But I still got that little giggle moment when he's just like, I don't have to save you.
What I liked about him dying was he died. Ra's al Ghul is one of the few like villains who can come back constantly from death.
Well, Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, it's a mantra, kind of like Captain America. Mm-hmm. Someone's just wearing the mask, but no, it was fantastic. The ending was very cool. The plan to destroy the city was elaborate, which is always fun.
Oh yeah,
for a Batman movie. It went from, think about this. It went from 1989, Michael Keaton with the Joker just terrorizing the town, to literally a giant,
to a Prince soundtrack.
Well, to like from that to the next movie with a giant exploding duck with a big one, and then Val Kilmer fighting Jim Carrey with a mind reading giant AI device, basically.
Yeah.
To this.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget the
freeze ray
with Poison Ivy.
Yeah, the freeze ray. The freeze ray, which her plan doesn't really make a lot of sense. She wants to freeze. He wants to freeze everything.
With the original Bane.
Yeah, the other. Oh god, that shit was fucking hilarious.
I barely remember that.
Oh man, you're gonna love it when we watch it.
Oh, I can't wait. I got him.
The skull makeup is fantastic.
And another little great Easter egg that, like, again, even knowing it was coming, still made me go, fuck yes, was at the very end where they were just like, where Bruce was just like, yeah, we may not need much of a Batman, once I get, the city cleaned up a little bit more, this blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, well, that might be a little harder than you think. We got this new tip. Hands him a card, and it's got the Joker card. And it's like, even though I knew that was coming when I still saw it, it's like, I still got like those goosebump things of like,
well, another thing about that is,
it's coming.
Another thing about that is that he wins on two fronts. He wins as the Batman front because he befriends Gary Oldman as the Batman, but he comes back and takes over Wayne Enterprises.
Yep.
And makes Lucius the CFO, the CEO, Chief Operations Officer. So, yeah, he fucking won. Yeah, and it's kind of a fantastic end to that movie because if you watch the movie, when I did, you don't think a second movie's coming,
right?
You just assume like, oh man, this was really good, and then the second one blew everyone out of the goddamn water. Fuck, it was good.
But again, fantastic start to my favorite series of Batman.
I didn't want to bring that up. It's just, the fucking voice is hilarious.
It gets worse in this movie. It wasn't too bad. It was just, I don't have to save you. Which that's cool.
Is it Peter Holmes, the comedian?
Pete Holmes, yeah.
Pete Holmes is just like, he does the Batman. Fucking hilarious.
For college humor.
I'm the Batman. Nah.
But yeah, I was paying attention to that. Throughout each movie, it got worse. The first one, he sounded cool. He was just kind of whispery. Side note, this is the only time I'm going to mention it because it's prevalent in all three movies. Christopher Nolan, or whoever his sound mixer is, needs to stay the fuck away from a soundboard. Whoever the hell mixes his movies does a dick ass job. The dialogue is sitting here quiet like this.
It's because his movies. It's because when they do the sound, because other guys do it. It's just because they want their movies to be seen in theaters, to be the panoramic sound is what you're supposed to. You can actually just change the settings on your TV.
It is instead of just standard stereo. I fucking hate it, but I've seen that a lot. Is that the Nolan movies are consistently. So yeah, he was mainly just in the first movie. Second movie had a little bit more of that gravel, like the. By the fucking third movie is. So yeah, I definitely preferred this movie's Batman voice.
Yeah, but nice.
And we end with the bat signal.
Yep.
That's fucking great.
No, and they destroyed it the second one.
Batman no more.
There's so much like hype moments in the second movie though. I will say that there's a lot of like this movie's fantastic, but the second one's just like
oh shit after oh shit after oh shit.
It's like there's so much stuff. Yeah.
But for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, it's been a great one. Make sure to click the links in this episode description. Grab you a little piece of merch. I think I was able to figure out the merch store. We're not going to be too worried about it. I was able to read through some different options and emails, so I think we'll be okay. Sorry for a little bit of the fear that everyone got a little bit early on. I was also being fearful myself because it seemed like they were about to really fuck me over, but thankfully I think enough people kind of also complained and they've issued some new pricing options. So from that, I think we're going to be okay. So click the link in the episode description, get you some Couch Potatoes merch or some merch from any of the other fantastic shows on the network, and make sure, it's very important now, make sure you follow us and subscribe to the YouTube page, because the YouTube page gets all of our podcast episodes in addition to the new series Fistful of Quarters, where, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we post new gameplay videos. So it's a lot of fun for us. I hope you guys are going to be enjoying it, because if not, we have a couple months worth of content on the back burner that you guys are going to have to deal with.
We're going to keep fucking making it anyway. Who gives a shit?
I figured out my easy edit. It's easy to record. I'm going to keep doing them. But for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex, and Chris, do you have any sort of final thoughts for us?
When Batman was fighting Ra's al Ghul on the train, he fought through about 15 thugs that he left unconscious on the train. So he crashed the train, not only with Ra's al Ghul on it, but with 13 guys who were just knocked out. So he killed about 16 to 20 people when he derailed the train. He's a killer. He's a goddamn killer. A murderer, if you will.
You've been listening to the Something Good Network. If you liked what you heard, you can follow us on Instagram, and check out the other great shows on the network. Link is in the episode description.